Welcome to another Just Add Social podcast. The topic is how gamification is revolutionizing social media engagement. It is based on academic work and a blog article by our guest speaker for this podcast, Hang Vu. As usual, our resident social media marketing expert is here in the chair just off to my right. It's Clive Roach.
Thank you, Aria, for that introduction. And today we have a special guest with us. And we always give a social savvy scale in this podcast to give you a heads up as to the complexity of the topic in terms of beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And I'm placing today's podcast in the lower tier of the advanced social savvy scales. This is a number 7. So if you're an experienced social media marketer with a strong grasp of social media marketing principles and tasks, you should be able to implement gamification in your social media marketing campaigns. So Aria, please introduce our guest who's in the studio with us today.
Clive,
Yes.
There is a Vietnamese feel to the studio today, I see, with some treats on the desk which our special guest has brought with her.
Yes, I had my first cup of Vietnamese coffee today. Yeah.
Leave some for me.
I will leave some for you.
Our guest today in the Just Add Social podcast studio is Hang from Vietnam. She is passionate about words and the power of communication, and thrives on crafting compelling narratives and refining messages. Her curiosity about the world has led her to travel to the Netherlands in 2019, where she pursued a bachelor's degree in international communication management. It was there that she discovered her specialization, leveraging communication to drive sustainable development. Hold on, I have not said the best part yet.
Okay.
During Hang's stay in the Netherlands, she worked closely with you doing social media marketing, social listening, and content creation, as well as working on the launch settings of an employee advocacy program.
That's very true.
You two are a power team, that's what I heard.
Wow. Thank you, Aria, for that lovely introduction. I'm very happy to be here in the Just Add Social studio. I heard so much about you from Clive.
All good things, I am sure.
So I got the chance to work with Clive in 2022 and 2023. And I learned a lot from his leadership as my manager, and also about social listening skills from his expertise. Since then, we still keep in touch, and I'm so excited to be here today to talk about one of my work during our working time together.
Of course. 2 quick characteristics of Hang. In our meetings, we used to have weekly meetings, and every week she brought lovely treats. And she's done it again in the studio. Look, all this stuff on the table.
I like it.
And she's very good at social listening.
Thanks.
Very, very good. Hang, the podcast floor is yours. Maybe start off with firstly telling us what is gamification.
Well, I believe we have all seen gamifications at least once in our life. Basically, gamifications can be defined as the implementations of game-like elements such as point scoring, competitions, and rules to foster incentives and behavior in a non-game setting. Gamification has been widely applied to many features in education to make learning fun and rewarding. Gamification's elements exist in many formats, like points, games, and leaderboards are the most associated features of gamification. And on social media, adding challenging, motivating features to reward behaviors is also an attempt to increase user engagement and productivity.
Great, thanks, Hang. I think we've now really understood, what is gamification. But now here's a question for you. Why do we need gamification in our social media marketing?
Very good questions, Clive. In my opinion, there are 4 main points that make gamifications useful. which are drawing people's attentions, increasing engagement, garnering user-generated content, as known as UGC, and turning them into advocates for products or service. For example, when users are on top of the leaderboard, the brain reward center is triggered and gives them the incentives to continue breaking the record.
Hang, I have a question for you. What does gamification look like on social channels?
Thanks, Aria. Let me start with B2C. Facebook users for sure have seen the top fan badge for Facebook page, which I remember correctly was introduced on Facebook in 2020. Online badges are also shown on active member profiles in Facebook groups with more than 50 people. Some main titles are Group Expert. This one belongs to the group member who works on excellent content in particular niche. So please note that this is not available in every group. And the second one you might have seen is Rising Star. This is for new members who contribute actively to the group. B2B site might look more subtly. Let's talk about one of the most popular representatives, LinkedIn. LinkedIn has applied gamifications to profile updates and the implementations of features like the progress bar, which motivate users to update their job status and skills. Upon completing their profiles, users are rewarded with the coveted superstar badge, and this strategic move has led to a significant 55% increase in profile completion rate on LinkedIn. For more information, please go and check my blog post on Clive's website. This is where I mention an interesting framework for gamifications and behavioral design that you might want to know more.
Now, to see that blog post written by Hang that supports this podcast, go to cliveroachblog.com, and there you can search in the search box for gamification, or click the blog list and look down the blog list and you'll see the gamification post there. I really advise it because then you can really see the framework for gamification and behavioral design that Hang is referring to. You've got to really see it, plus some other very interesting diagrams that support what Hang is describing. Okay, so Aria, what's next?
Thanks for those wonderful insights about gamification. Hang, can you give us a challenge? So that we all think about how we can challenge ourselves to think where gamification will boost our social media marketing campaigns and activities. In this podcast, we call this our key takeaways.
As you can clearly see, gamification has now been a crucial part of social media tactics. As a digital marketer, ask yourself, how can you apply the same proven strategies to your own brand's social media presence? For example, if you want to boost engagement and loyalty, think of badge, fun challenges, and exclusive rewards that keep your audience coming back. So, are you ready to step into this, level up, and play to win? The choice is yours.
Splendid.
Thank you so much for having me as your guest in this podcast studio.
It's our pleasure. It's been so nice having somebody else in the studio with me other than Aria. I mean, we have had Darth Vader here, actually. But he's not here today.
Goodbye, Aria. Nice meeting you.
Great meeting you too.
Maybe we shall meet again.
Yes, absolutely. We should definitely do this again. But for now, we're going to go off, finish the podcast and have some Vietnamese coffee, which I've got right here from my friend Trang. So all three of us are going to have this lovely coffee. And that's it for today's podcast episode. Remember, just adding social is the perfect way to turn offline or digital efforts into measurable success. So don't hesitate. Get social today and watch your results grow.